尤其是概念整合呢一段片啦，非常有用，大家快啲 download 翻嗰份筆記。2023年嘅 Paper 1B 第2條，佢係透過幹細胞去問我哋有關於成長同埋發展嘅概念嘅題目。一開始就講啦，所有細胞咧都係由幹細胞所去衍生出嚟嘅。咁呢啲幹細胞咧，佢就會進行細胞分化啦。喺呢個過程當中咧，細胞就會改變佢哋嘅形態同埋形狀啦，去令到佢哋啦就去進行特定嘅功能嘅。咁而家 Part A 咧，佢就問咯，喺眼睛嘅晶體，其實佢係由一啲冇細胞器嘅細胞所組成嘅。咁講完呢個基本資料之後咧，咁題目咧就問啦，咁如果喺眼睛嘅晶體嘅細胞喺細胞分化嘅過程當中，啲細胞器係冇降解到嘅時候，咁就叫我哋去描述一下究竟晶體嘅功能係如何受到影響啦。呢條題目啦，擺到明就梗係問翻我哋有關於晶體嘅適應性特徵啦。好，咁而家啦就同大家溫一溫書咯。究竟晶體有啲咩嘅適應性特徵呢？咁啊，晶體嘅功能啦，就係折射同埋聚焦光線落去視網膜上面啦。而晶體呢個組織，嗱，點解晶體係組織啊？因為晶體係由晶體細胞所組合而成噶嘛。咁呢個組織啦，佢嘅適應性特徵咧就係透明啦，俾光穿過去啦，有彈性啦。係因為啦，當我哋望遠嘢、望近嘢嘅時候，我哋要改變個晶體嘅厚度啦，同埋啦，佢係一個雙突盤嘅結構嚟嘅，所以啦，佢係做到一個折射嘅功能啦。而晶體嘅細胞啦，有咩咁特別咧？佢哋係冇細胞核嘅。咁你就可以回憶翻題目講嘅嘢啦。晶體嘅細胞係冇細胞器嘅。下次啦，用 MC 去問你啦。哎呀，以下嘅細胞器咧，有邊一樣係唔會喺個晶體細胞嗰度出現噶？咁其中一個自不然就係細胞核咯，係咪？解完晶體嘅適應性特徵咯，我哋就講下睇病學 Bio 啦。我哋就用翻睇病學 Bio 嘅呢個原理去分析下咧，如果啲細胞器冇喺細胞分化嘅情況底下去降解，咁究竟啦會引申出啲乜嘢不正常嘅功能呢？咁所以啦，我哋咧就有呢個思考邏輯咯。第一步咧，我哋就要去描述咗細胞器嘅存在點樣去影響到個晶體。咩叫影響個晶體啊？梗係影響佢嘅功能啦。題目問你噶嘛，晶體功能啊嘛，係咪？所以我哋要描述嘅就係細胞器嘅存在係如何影響到影像生成啦。因為影像生成就係晶體嘅功能啊嘛，係咪？咁最怕大家咧就係兜圈答題啦。之前我哋講直線抽擊答題法，有直線答題，亦都有曲線答題。最怕咧就大家就講啦。晶體咧本身就係透明嘅，但係而家咧啲細胞器咧仲喺個細胞入面冇降解到，所以個晶體咧就唔係透明，所以個晶體咧就不再透明啦。你明白啦？其實你就係兜緊圈去講啫嘛。loop 死咗喺個透明嗰處啊，你冇講到個功能啊。所以啦，我哋要點樣答呢？咁我哋第一步就要描述翻細胞器嘅存在點樣影響晶體啊嘛。我哋就可以講啦，部分嘅光線受到細胞器嘅阻擋啦，又或者晶體會變得渾濁啦、唔透徹啦，或者唔透明啦。但係呢個都只係講緊影響個晶體啫嘛。咁晶體嘅功能又如何啊？咁我哋就要講埋啦。喺視網膜所形成嘅影像就會較為模糊唔清晰啦，又或者光線呢係未能夠正確聚焦喺個視網膜上面啦。當然啦，仲有其他嘅表達方法嘅，例如啦，細胞器嘅存在啦，會令到光線散射 ，scattered 就係散射嘅意思。咁其實都係令到啦啲光線唔能夠好好聚焦喺個視網膜上面，咁你個影像咪唔清晰咯，係咪？咁無論你係睇開 Faith Education 啦，定係啱啱新嘅觀眾啦，咁我都建議你啦，快啲睇翻直線抽擊答題法，去理解翻點樣答條問題啊！因為有好多盲點呢，就係大家覺得，喂，我答咗好多嘢啦，但係點解都唔中嘅呢？兜圈嘅呢？阿 Sir 問你數嘅呢？呢一條片呢，絕對幫到你啦。咁跟住去到 Part B 咯。講完晶體動物嘅細胞，就講植物細胞咯。原來植物細胞啦，佢都會體驗到呢個細胞分化嘅時候，細胞器或者細胞嘅成分呢係會降解嘅。佢就叫我哋啦，去俾個例子出嚟啦。有冇咩嘅植物細胞呢都會體驗到呢一件事㗎？佢要我哋去解釋一下呢啲細胞成分嘅降解，對於呢一款植物細胞嘅功能有咩嘅 重要性 significance、importance， 其實都係講緊重要性，其實即係問緊你個 benefit 做嚟有咩嘅好處，係咪？咁呢個題目啦，自不然就係考翻我哋啦，特定嘅植物細胞嘅適應性特徵。咁又提翻大家嗰個表達方法啦，某某嘅結構咧，佢有某某嘅特徵，就令到佢能夠進行某個功能進行得好一啲啦。所以啦，梁 Sir 解題嘅時候咧，都會俾翻呢啲鷹架大家，一啲思考鷹架、答題鷹架，去幫你哋建構答題嘅格式同埋答題嘅意識咯。咁跟住啦，我哋就用翻直線抽擊答題法去講解下，將呢啲細胞成分降解咗啦。咁究竟有咩嘅 benefit， 有啲咩好處咯？咁有啲咩嘅植物細胞，我哋係可以講翻出嚟嘅咧？自不然就係木質導管啦，同埋韌皮導管嘅部分咯。例如啦，木質導管咧，佢所有細胞內含物咧，其實都已經降解咗，形成一條空心嘅管，對水分運輸咧就有好低嘅阻力啦。所以你明白，我唔係淨係話幫佢運水，係運水得嚟好低阻力。第二啦，就係木質導管入面嘅細管啦，細管咧嘅細胞內含物係減少咗嘅，從而啦對蔗糖嘅運輸阻力都係降低。嗱，留意下，我唔係話細管咧佢係可以運送蔗糖就算數，係因為佢個內含物少咗，因為降解咗啊嘛。對於佢嘅功能有咩嘅好處？對蔗糖運輸阻力較低，呢個就係頭先我所講嘅答題格式同埋答題意識啦。好，跟住啦就去到一點出發啦。呢條題目咧就由幹細胞開始啦，就問我哋兩類型嘅細胞啦，一款就係晶體啦，另一款就係維管組織啦。先講晶體啦，晶體咧今次講佢哋透明呢個特性啦，咁下次講下有彈性得唔得啦？彈性嘅呢個特徵對於視覺調節有咩嘅重要性啊？我哋望遠嘢、望近嘢係咪？過往咧都有片咧去講望遠望近嘅，咁啊快快手睇下片溫下書啦。然後去到維管組織咯，木質導管、韌皮導管運送緊嘅係乜嘢咧？佢哋嘅轉運機制係如何咧？嗱，中文咧真係用轉運嘅，佢唔係用運輸嘅，我都唔係好慣。咁啊，轉運機制啦。木質導管嘅運水嘅，當然講蒸騰牽引力啦，或者蒸騰拉力啦。而韌皮導管佢運嘅就係有機嘅食物啦。個機制咧就係 translocation 輸導啦。種好考我哋嘅，一定要分得清嘅就係運送嘅方向啦。究竟啦係由下而上去運送啊，定係由上而下去運送咧？然後啦，整條題目咧，其實都係問翻我哋有關於適應性特徵同個晶體啊，同個維管組織嘅功能咧，有啲咩嘅關係嘅。嗱，咁過往咧好多段片㗎啦，概念整合啦，就將功能啦、結構啦、特徵啦拉上關係啦。咁啊呢一段片咧，大家快啲 download 翻嗰份筆記，就係有關於唔同細胞、唔同組織、唔同器官佢哋嘅適應性特徵嘅一個綜合嚟嘅，非常有用。咁啊，我執整下之後咧，我會出 Volume 2嘅，咁啊敬請期待咯。然後啦，仲有其他嘅題目嘅，亦都係有關於直線抽擊答題法嘅重要性啦，同埋啊拆解紅血球呢類型嘅邏輯題目咯。其實都係關適應性特徵事嘅。成身咁多細胞咧，總有一款嘢可以問嘅。而講開啦，晶體嘅適應性特徵咧，今次佢就話晶體咧，如果啲細胞器係冇降解到嘅時候啦，個晶體會變得渾濁啊嘛。晶體變得渾濁係咩病啊？咪就係白內障咯。當中你學過噶啦，下次咪可以問下你呢啲問題啦，係咪？成條題目啦，就由幹細胞開始啦，就講下佢哋點樣進行細胞分化，形成唔同類型嘅細胞，進行唔同類型嘅功能啦。咁自不然啦，就係考翻大家細胞分化呢個概念啦。成個概念咧好簡單嘅啫，就係喺多細胞嘅生物體內咧，係有唔同類型嘅細胞，而唔同類型嘅細胞佢哋進行特定嘅工作。所以佢哋係 specialize 特殊化咗嘅，無論啦係運送信息啦，例如我哋嘅神經細胞啦，有啲細胞就專係負責喐動啦、運動啦，例如肌肉細胞啦，又或者有啲細胞咧就專係運送氧氣，自不然就係紅血球啦。所以啦，唔同細胞唔同功能，佢哋都係由幹細胞分化而成嘅。咁呢個過程我哋就叫做 differentiate 細胞分化啦。咁講完細胞分化啦，哇，好正喎！幹細胞未完啦，佢可以再問生物科技㗎。 例如啦，我哋而家咧已經做得到噶啦。例如啦，我哋喺一個人身體上面抽取一啲幹細胞，而再刺激呢啲細胞成為皮膚細胞，咁我哋就可以去幫到一啲嚴重燒傷嘅病人咧，令到佢哋嘅皮膚係康復翻靚靚滑滑溜溜嘅皮膚，唔使喺個囉柚度切啲皮膚搭喺個手臂上面啦。咁講完成條題目啦，咁啊不得不提嘅就梗係題型變奏啦，係咪？今次啦講嘅嘢咧就係有關於紅血球啦。原來紅血球咧都會體驗到呢個細胞器嘅降解嘅喎。今次降解嘅細胞器咧就係細胞核啦，同埋粒線體喎。咁究竟啦呢啲細胞器嘅降解對於紅血球嘅功能有咩嘅重要性呢？就要你去解釋一下咯。嗱，啱啱4分，即係細胞核就佔2分，粒線體又佔2分。你試下喺留言區留低你嘅答案，睇下你 concept 清唔清？223 Paper 1B Question 2. It starts from the stem cells and then asks us about the growth and development concept. So the question is saying that all cells are derived from stem cells.They undergo differentiation in which the cells change in form and shape, which enable them to perform specialized functions. And for part A, it's found that the lens of the eye is composed of cells without organelles. So if the organelles of these cells have not been degraded during differentiation, describe how the functioning of the lens would have been affected.The whole question surely is checking us the adaptive features of the lens to perform its function well. Remember, adaptive features is helping the structure not only perform the function, but perform the function in a better way. So let's have a quick revision. For the lens, its basic function reflects and focus the light onto the retina. So for the lens itself, the adaptive features, transparent,let the light pass through and do the reflection. Elastic, because when we are looking at something nearby or far away, so we need to adjust the thickness of the lens. Therefore, the lens should be elastic, easier for us to change the thickness. And it is biconvex because it can help us to focus the light. And for the lens cells, they do not have the nuclei. So you can see that.The cells without organelles. So that means if the exam says, so maybe next time when the question asks you in the MC format, asks you that which of the following organelles in the cells of the lens is or are absent. Then we can use the disease approach to analyze the abnormal function of the lens if the organelles have not been degraded during differentiation. Therefore, we have these 2 steps for the thinking logic. First step, we need to describe how the presence of the organelles affect the lens. What do you mean affect the lens? Affect the function of the lens. Because you can read the question, because you should read the question carefully and see the terms functioning of the lens. Therefore, for the second step, we need to describe how it affects the image formation. Because for the function of the lens, what is it? Image formation, reflect and focus the light onto the retina. One thing I need to remind you is about the straight to the point answering skills. Some students, they use the merry-go-round answering skills. They may say that the lens is transparent. However, if the organelles in the cells have not been degraded, the lens will not be transparent. Surely, yes, you answer something, part of the question, but you are just looping in the transparent adaptive features. But you never talk about the functions, right? So, what you need to answer is that, first of all, if the organelles, they are present, so some light is blocked by the presence of the organelles, or the lens will become unclear, not transparent or cloudy. Second step, the functions, image formation. The lens cannot perform the function well. Therefore, you need to talk about the image form on the retina become unclear, blur, or the light cannot focus correctly on the retina. So that's the idea about the functioning of the lens. So watch this video to learn some practical examination skills. And then for part B, after we talk about the animal cells, we talk about the plant cells. The question asks us to suggest a type of plant cell which also experience degradation of the cellular components during differentiation, and explain the significance of the degradation to the function of the cell type. Surely, this question is still checking us the adaptive features of the specialized plant cells. For the scaffolding, remember you need to talk about that the structure A or particular cells, they have a certain feature, 4 or 2 perform a certain function better, in a better way. I hope that this scaffolding can help you construct your answer easily and train your mindset of answering the question. And after that, you need to use the straight to the point to identify the benefit. Remember, the term significance, importance, it refers to the benefit of doing something. And now it's about the benefit of the degradation of the cellular components during differentiation. So you can see that recall the structure of the xylem vessels and phloem vessels for transport in the plants. What can we say? For the xylem vessels, if all the cell content degraded to form a hollow tube, and which it can provide little resistance to the water transport. So you can see that I do not just say that the xylem vessel can transport water, but also talking about but also talking about the benefit of the degradation of the cellular component, and which provide little resistance to the water flow. Or you can talk about the sieve tube in the phloem vessels with reduced cell content, which offer a lower resistance to the translocation of the sucrose. So you can see the same idea. I do not just talking about the translocation in the sieve tube. I'm talking about the resistance will be lower for the translocation to take place. So that's the adaptive features. So that is the benefit you need to talk about. And let's talk about the curriculum mapping. This question starts from the stem cells and then asks us the lens and the vascular tissues. And for the lens, surely this time it talk about the transparent. So maybe next time it's talking about the elastic feature of the lens. So for the elastic features, surely we need to talk about the eye accommodation. When we are focusing on nearby or distant object, so how can we change the thickness of the lens? And for the vascular tissue, we talk about the xylem vessel, phloem vessel. So what is the transport mechanism? For the xylem vessel, we have the transpiration pool. And for the phloem vessel, for the sieve tube, we have the translocation. And the key idea you need to recall, do the revision, is about the direction. From the root to the leaf, or from the leaf to the root. So what is the direction? Upwards or downwards? And then for the adaptive features, surely you can see that there are several questions about the adaptive features of the. And then watch the video and download the notes about the summary of the adaptive features of the different type of tissues. And by doing this question, I also want to remind you about the straight to the point answering skills. And in this question, we talk about the transparent features of the lens. Maybe next time is talking about the disease approach. What about cataract? The lens become cloudy. The light cannot pass through the lens. So you can see that disease approach is highly related to the adaptive features. And then for the whole question, we are talking about the stem cells doing the cell differentiation into different types of cells and then carry out specialized function. So surely we need to recall the idea of the cell differentiation. In the multicellular organism, there are many different types of cells, and each type carry out a particular job. And some cells are specialized for carrying message, for example, the nerve cells, some for movement, muscle cells, and some for carrying oxygen around the body, red blood cells. And these different types of specialized cells come from the stem cells. So stem cells can differentiate into different types of cells. So the process is called cell differentiation. And then after we talk about the whole thing, growth and development, and one more thing I would like to remind you about the stem cells is about the biotechnology. So nowadays, we have the biotechnology to use the stem cells. For example, we extract the stem cells from a person, from the skin, and then add some chemical to stimulate it to develop into skin cells. And then we can spray the stem cells on the skin surface to help the severe skin burn injury to recover. And then they will have normal skin cells. And then it's different from the traditional skills, taking the skin from our pet and then put it on our arm. And after talking about the whole question, surely we need to talk about the possible question variation. So the question may ask you that, for red blood cells, they also experience degradation of the nucleus and the mitochondria during differentiation. And then ask you to explain the significance of the degradation to the function of the red blood cells. So you can see that 4 marks, 2 marks for the degradation of nucleus, and the other 2 marks for the degradation of the mitochondria. Try to answer it in the comment section, and let's see your concept is clear or not.